the owl that wouldn't leave my backyard. My dad would always tell us stories about the strange things that happened to him. He was a trucker and used to do a lot of travelling, and during these trips he encountered some weird things. I remember one story he told me around 10 years ago that's haunted me ever since. My dad is someone who believes in the paranormal, and the idea that some people can attract things more than others. On several occasions he would detail how when pulling over after driving his truck for several hours, he would see some strange things. One of the most common things he witnessed was that of unidentified flying objects and ghosts. He told us many paranormal stories, but the one that always got to me was the story about the owl, and to this day he's only told us this story once. He said that during this encounter he was at quite a low point in his life, and that on several occasions an owl would appear in front of him. However, something was off about this. As he detailed, every time this happened he would have a horrible feeling come over him. He described it as being similar to when you watch a horror movie, and you feel all tense and scared. Strangely, before this encounter he had no problems with owls, and even had family photographs taken with them when we went to bird shows. After this experience though, all these got ripped up and thrown in the bin. We were kids when this happened and didn't notice a change in our dad, but he said that it changed him. He told us this owl would always appear to him when he was feeling down, and that all it would do is make the situation much worse. What's creepy about this is that he said it was always the same owl. No matter where he was, the same owl would always appear in front of him, and just stare. We asked what would happen if he stood his ground, and he said it would just stare and not move. On several occasions he was in his truck and would flash the lights at it, but the animal wouldn't even twitch. While this was happening, it kept eye contact with him. I remember one time an owl landed in our garden and I ran and called my parents. When they came downstairs and my dad saw what was in the garden, his whole face went white. He quickly told us to go upstairs. We could see him out the window staring into the trees while whispering, "It's found me. The owl isn't what you think it is." Something to note is that he told us this story years before The Fourth Kind came out. He said that he wasn't able to watch it because of the owl link. It's weird because my dad isn't someone who gets scared easy, but he can't even look at a picture of an owl. If on the off chance an owl comes into the backyard, he starts to break down. It's horrible to see. It's like his brain can't handle it, and the only thing that comes over him is fear. I've tried to bring it up with my dad in the past and get more information, but he just won't talk about it. On the few times I've asked him, he wasn't the same for the next few days. Except from this, my dad is a great guy and doesn't have anything wrong with him. He just said that when the owl appears in front of him, an immense fear comes over him.